Good afternoon, guys. It is Wednesday, September 20th, and this is going to be a little a chat video. Forgive me if I'm looking left or right. You already know how I am. I don't like to look directly into the camera. I don't know why, but that's just me. Today is going to be a chat video. And if you don't know who I am Angie Eyes. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining my journey. And I look forward to watching your journey as well. As I always say, weight loss, with weight loss, you need a good support system. And I love my virtual support system. So thank you guys so much. And thank you for the kind comments that you leave. Today is a very, very special day for me. So I'm going to let you know now. Sometimes I can get a little long-winded, so this might be a long video. Please just bear with me. Today is a very special day because today is my mother's 60th birthday. So it's a very special day indeed. But the downside to it being her 60th birthday is that she passed away like 9 years ago. And I said I wasn't going to cry today. And I'm going to try my best not to cry today. So if some tears escape, please bear with me. And please don't feel sad for me, guys. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of good memories, so it's just always over. Usually, it's overwhelming, and this day is special to me. Not only because it's her birthday, but y'all, it's the first day in 9 years that I didn't wake up just hella depressed. I didn't wake up crying. I didn't wake up not wanting to get out the bed, not wanting to get on with my day. And depression is very real. Y'all, a lot of us, we talk about the fact that we gain weight, but we rarely ever contribute to, or we ever rarely talk about, the things that contributed to our weight gain. So I'm just going to give you some insight. So my mother got sick. I don't know. I did another video. I never posted it, but maybe I will one day. Maybe I'll get enough courage to do it. I don't know. I don't really like talking about it because it just makes me feel kind of sad, and I don't want to. I've been sad for so many years that I just don't even want to be sad anymore. Like, I can't even bear the thought of being sad anymore, y'all. And that's why today is very special to me, because I've woken up so many days sad. I've cried myself to sleep so many nights sad. I missed out on a lot of things that were happening in life because I was just sad. Depression is very real. Grief is very real. And to those of you who are dealing with that, I just hope that you're able to overcome it and overcome it soon, because no one really understands what goes along with that, and they don't understand the anxiety, and they don't understand the mental anguish, the suffering that you deal with when you're going through something like that. For me, I don't know. I think maybe what contributed to my depression is just watching my mother like deteriorate. Oh my gosh, how do you say that? I know I can say it. Deteriorate. Well, you know what I mean. I watched her deteriorate right in front of my eyes, and I'm not saying it correctly, but that's okay. Like, her 51st birthday, gave her a beautiful party, and 2 or 3 days later, I was in the ER with her because she was just very, very ill. And she was ill for about 2 months. I mean, she went into a coma. She came out of the coma. She was on feeding tubes, breathing tubes. She barely could talk, and then she started getting well. And once I thought she was well, and I moved her from a hospital to hospice, she she was lasted in hospice for one night, and she passed away at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And so, because I was with her on that journey, day in and day out, it took a toll on me. It took a toll on me, and I think mostly the guilt of not being there for her when she passed away, that really took a toll on me. And during that time when it happened, it was something that my two brothers and I, you know, we had to really just hold each other up during that time, because my mother's family, like she had sisters, brothers, uncles. I mean, my grandmother was still living, but my grandmother was really too old to help me with anything. My grandmother was, you know, in her 80s when my mother passed away, and my mom had just made 51. So I couldn't really, lean on her. And yes, I couldn't lean on her. And during that time, like, honestly, my mom's family, they turned their backs on us because we didn't do things the way that my aunt, her sister, wanted us to do. And my mom had three sisters, from her mom, and she had a gang of brothers from her dad, and she had one brother from her mom. And the sisters that I'm talking about, they were estranged. They weren't really speaking when my mom got ill, and they hadn't really talked in years, but she just thought that she could come in and do things the way that she wanted to do them. And I'm like, no. Like, I understand that you're her sister, but you need to understand that you hadn't been a part of her life for a very long time, and I'm going to do things according to the way my mother asked me to do things. And that's what I did, and they didn't like it. And so since they did, they just kind of like just turned their backs on us temporarily. But I'm not really even going to here to dwell on that. I just want to give you a little bit of background and tell you that really I think that's a big part of why I gained weight. And of course, finding out, like, my father passed away 5 years before my mother. And my father, his was kind of sudden. Like, one minute he was alert, vibrant, the next he was in a coma, and he never woke up from his coma. And yeah, and it took me a long time to deal with that. And when I started to heal with my dad passing away, that's when my mother passed away. And then that's when my depression got even greater. When my mom was living, I had my highest weight before my mom got sick. Right before my mom got sick, I was like 225 pounds. That was my highest weight. From the time that what contributed to my weight gain, I was pretty thin. Maybe I should I guess I can insert, like, well, I don't have any pictures here. I guess I could upload them to my laptop or whatever, but I'm not a person that was big my whole life. I haven't even been a person that's been big the majority of my adult life, truthfully. I started gaining weight. I started gaining a lot of weight when I turned about, I think I started getting weight when I was about 25. And it was just a small amount. 25, I was in a bad marriage. I had a couple of pregnancy losses, some voluntarily, some involuntarily. And I think in 2005 is when I had found out my then husband was cheating and running circles around me. So that contributed to, like, my weight gain when me starting to eat a lot, because I was going through a stressful time in my life. And actually, no. So I was like 100. So I went from like 110 pounds to 130 pounds to 145 pounds to 150 pounds. And I stayed 150 pounds for a while. And then when I was about 25, I went from like 150 pounds to 170 pounds. And I stayed in that area for quite a while, quite a long time. I mean, it was big, but it wasn't obese. And so when my father died, I went from about 170 pounds to 200 pounds because the only thing I did then is I ate and I slept and I cried. And I felt like really isolated during that time. And then after I found out after my dad died, I found out probably a few months later that my husband at the time had made a baby with someone else after he told me that he wasn't ready for us to build a family. So that's where the involuntary pregnancies came in. And so I got really depressed from that. And had a couple of losses, and I think y'all, my dad died in April. In mid-May, I found out that I was pregnant again, and I was like probably 3 months pregnant. And I had no idea because I was just going through so much with my father that I really didn't even pay attention to the signs and the signals on my body. And at that time, my husband was just doing, no, that it wasn't, no, that was a year later. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember my time frames, y'all. It was such a long time ago, or feels like a long time ago. And, things kind of just run together after a while, but let me just get it right in my mind. So my dad died in April of 2004. And then my husband was very supportive then. I mean, he was my rock then. I mean, he helped me out immensely then. And I really thought we had something special. I thought it was real. But when I started getting better, he started just doing things. He started staying out more, partying a lot of times, telling me that he was always working, barely returning my phone calls. We weren't spending any time together. And that's because I found out that he had another woman pregnant. And so, yeah, that contributed to my stress levels. And when I was stressed, I turned to food and I ate. And then I gained some weight. I think I went up to about 225 pounds. No, I went up probably to about 215 pounds around this time, y'all. And then, so that's when he told me, he was like, you're gaining weight, and because you're gaining so much weight, I'm not really attracted to you like that anymore. And I can respect him for saying that. I mean, he was like, I think you should, focus on losing a little weight. And then I found out I was pregnant, so me losing a little weight wasn't going to happen. And y'all, man, I'm not going to even get into that. I mean, if you want to hear about that in the story time, I'll definitely give you all of the juicy details. But right now, I'm not even going to go into that because I don't even want to take my mind there. And I definitely don't want to take my emotions there. I'm over him. We're not together. We haven't been together for a long time, thank goodness. But the heart, I mean, it's still one of the triggers in my heart that makes me sad, and it makes me angry, and it makes me emotional. So I just try to avoid that altogether, if at all possible. So, I'm about 215 pounds. Find out that I'm pregnant, y'all. And while he's out running circles around me, I'm being depressed, but also being pregnant, also eating and sleeping and crying. And then, y'all, I went into labor when I was 4.5, almost 5 months pregnant, y'all. So I ended up having a stillborn, and that was devastating because I actually wanted my child, and that was a lot to deal with. I'm not gonna lie, that was very overwhelming. And then that's when I would jump from about 215 to 225. And I hung around 225 for a few years. And I stayed that way for about 3 years until my mother got sick. Now, when my mother got sick, she went into the hospital. I was about 225 pounds. I gained about 20 pounds when she was in the hospital, y'all. Like, I wasn't really in, I don't know, I was just stressed out. So I guess stress is a trigger for me to gain weight too. But because I really didn't eat a lot during that time. I didn't really eat. I didn't really sleep. But I did do a lot of drinking. I did turn to alcohol. So that could be why the weight came in. And so one day when my mom had came out of her coma and we were sitting and we were talking, and I told her, she just is like, she's looking at me, she's like, girl, she was like, you starting to get big. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Mom, you laying in bed sick and you're sitting here and you're worried and you're talking about my weight. But she wasn't saying it to be mean. I think she was just saying it because she was like legit worried because her little girl had never, really had weight problems. And now she's seeing that she's starting to have a weight problem. So, y'all, I went up to about 245 pounds when my mom was in the hospital. And I told my mom, I said, you know what, Mom? I was like, you know what? I am going to lose this weight. And then my mom, she looked at me and she was like, she shook her head, y'all. And then she was like, you know what? She was like, girl, you full of shit. You're not about to lose no weight. Yo, I was so mad at her. I was so mad at her when she said that to me, and I was determined, like, you know what? Oh, pause. Okay, so when she said that, y'all, I was like, man, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna prove this lady wrong. When she get out this hospital, I'm gonna lose weight or whatever. Just because she said that I couldn't do it, I'm gonna do it. And y'all, needless to say, she never made it. I mean, she made it out of the hospital, but she didn't live long after that. And usually, the day before my mom's birthday, I get a bottle of wine. Sometimes I have some hard alcohol. I get like cake. And then I eat like all of the fast, fatty food. I mean, I binge the whole day usually. And I end that binge with a lot of ice cream. I did not do that yesterday, y'all. Yesterday, I ate, and I didn't even eat a lot yesterday, but I went to the gym and I worked out yesterday. And I only did worked out I did 30 minutes of cardio because I didn't have a lot of time, but I told myself, if you don't make it to the gym today, you are not going to if you don't make it to the gym today to work out, if you don't work out now, oh, hey. Okay. All right. So I was like, if you don't work out, if you don't do it now, if you don't do it now, you're not gonna do it, y'all. And I worked out, and I didn't sleep last night, y'all. I didn't sleep, and I can't even say I didn't sleep because I knew it was my mom's birthday. The fact that it was my mom's birthday, it didn't even cross my mind, honestly. In my mind, my mom's birthday isn't until Saturday, and today is Wednesday. So I don't even know why. I don't even know why I thought like that, but it's okay. And when I say it's a special day for me, it's a special day because the normal things that I do on her birthday, start leading up to her birthday, I did not do. I've been working out. I've been losing weight. I've been losing inches. I've been losing pounds. I've been losing ounces, y'all. Now, it might not be a lot, but I've been working. I've been doing the work, and I've been seeing the results, and I feel so passionate in this moment about it because it means a lot to me. Because it wasn't that long ago that I would just lay on the couch and I would cry and I would eat, and I wouldn't want to move, and I wouldn't want to be bothered, and I would have a real nasty disposition towards anybody that came near me, y'all. And I didn't do that. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me, y'all. Because for me, that means that I've overcome my biggest obstacle. I'm just multitasking, y'all. You know how I do. I've overcome my biggest obstacle, y'all. And that obstacle is depression. That obstacle is depression. That obstacle is me abusing food. That obstacle is me like abusing my body by not like trying to get this weight up off of me, y'all. And that is a victory. Almost 9 years later from my mom passing away, I am not depressed. I am not binge eating. I am not sleeping my life away. I'm living in the moment. It's so much time that passed that I didn't even live in the moment, y'all. Because I couldn't live in the moment. I didn't know how to live in the moment. Because it was just too much going on for me. It was so many days that I honestly didn't even... It was so many days, y'all, I didn't even want to live. Like, it was so many days that I thought the thought of me taking my own life seemed like a very real option. And y'all, this is something that I don't even talk about this stuff, y'all. I don't talk about this stuff because it makes me feel sad. So many days I didn't even want to get out the bed because I didn't even want to live anymore. I felt like my mom wasn't here. My dad wasn't here. If my mom wasn't here, my dad wasn't here. Like, if my stillborn wasn't here. If my loved one, my friends that passed away, my family members that passed away, a guy that I was in love with passed away. And I didn't want to live. But I had one thing to live for, y'all. I had one thing that I could not give up on, y'all. And honestly, that is my son. I mean, he's 19 now. But my son was my motivation. I mean, it wasn't enough to drag me out of the bed on the days that I was just down in the dumps. But he gave me enough drive and enough inspiration and enough ambition to live. But I don't want to just live, y'all, anymore. I want to live my life. I want to live my life out loud. I want to enjoy the rest of my days because the sad truth is we never know how much time we have in this life. I mean, we're here today and we don't know what tomorrow brings for us. So when you're dealing with weight loss and you're dealing with your issues, you got to think, is me binge eating and overeating and eating too many processed foods worth my life? Is me not working out worth my life? Is me giving up myself worth my life? Is me not enjoying the people around me worth my life? Like, we ain't living for us, y'all. We are living for us, but it's not just us. We gotta think about the people around us who will be devastated if something happens to us. And when I go, I want it to be from an old age, healthy. I want to live a healthy, long life, and it starts now. It should have started then, but I can't control what my habits were then. I can only live in today and control what I do today moving forward. So all I gotta say is y'all hang in there. And I don't know what you went through. I don't know the reason why you gained weight. I mean, I don't know if it's always been that way for you, but if you made the choice to lose weight, stick with that choice because you're worth it and you can do it. And I got to get out of here. I got things to do. And I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And you guys have a beautiful, blessed, long day. Be productive, okay? I'm out.